Just today, an LA Times investigation has uncovered new details about the deadly Palisades fire, raising serious questions about the Los Angeles Fire Department's response. All that and more, top headlines from the Los Angeles Times. Hi, I'm Faith Pinot from LA Times Studios in Washington, D.C. Here's some of today's top stories from the Los Angeles Times. An LA Times investigation has uncovered new details about the deadly Palisades fire, raising serious questions about the Los Angeles Fire Department's response. Firefighter text messages reviewed by the Times show crews warned their battalion chief not to leave the scene of a small New Year's Day brush fire, saying the ground was actively smoldering and rocks were hot to the touch. Still, they were ordered to pull out anyway. 5 days later, strong winds reignited those embers, sparking the January blaze that killed 12 people and destroyed thousands of homes in Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and Topanga. According to reporters, one firefighter wrote that he told the chief it was, quote, a bad idea to leave, and that, quote, the rest is history. The LAFD declined to comment on the texts, but maintains they believe the original fire was fully extinguished. The revelations come as lawsuits and a Senate inquiry look into whether the city and state did enough to protect the community, while a former Palisades resident, Josh Rinderknecht, faces charges for igniting the original New Year's Day fire. Interim Chief Ronnie Villanueva said in a statement this month that it was an undetectable holdover fire, meaning it was burning deep underground, and that it wasn't a failure to extinguish the flames. But critics say firefighters should have stayed longer to monitor the burn, and that they chose not to use thermal imaging tools that could have detected hidden hotspots and stop one of the most devastating fires in Los Angeles history. To read more about the investigation, subscribe to the LA Times. And the Federal Reserve cut interest rates again Wednesday for the second time this year, as it tries to boost growth and hiring despite inflation still running high. According to reporters, the new benchmark rate now sits at around 3.9%, down slightly from about 4.1%. The hope is that over time, lower rates could reduce borrowing costs for mortgages and loans. The decision comes at a tricky moment. As the government shutdown enters its fifth week, key economic data is delayed, and the Fed is essentially flying blind, relying on private reports instead of official numbers to guide its next move. Here's what Fed Chair Jerome Powell had to say about the data drought.
The shutdown of the federal government will weigh on economic activity while it persists, but these effects should reverse after the shutdown ends. We continue to face two-sided risks. In the committee's discussions at this meeting, there were strongly differing views about how to proceed in December. A further reduction in the policy rate at the December meeting is not a foregone conclusion. Far from it. Policy is not on a preset course.
Powell's remarks highlight growing divisions inside the Fed. Two members opposed Wednesday's cut. One wanted a deeper reduction, while the other none at all. The central bank also announced it's pausing efforts to shrink its $6.6 trillion balance sheet, a shift that's meant to ease pressure on lending markets. Meanwhile, layoffs at major companies like UPS, Amazon, and Target are adding to concerns about a weakening job market, while the next job report remains delayed by the shutdown. And President Trump suggested Thursday that the U.S. could resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in more than 30 years. According to reporters, Trump hinted at the policy shift on Truth Social, posting that he's instructed the Department of War to begin testing on a, quote, equal basis with Russia and China. The announcement came just minutes before his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea. Following the meeting, Trump spoke to reporters on Air Force One, but offered little clarity. Take a listen.
But we have more than anybody. But I see them testing. I say, well, if they're going to test, I guess we have to test. I'd like to see a denuclearization because we have so many, and Russia has some. Russia's second, and China's third, and China will catch up within 4 or 5 years. I think de-escalation would be they would call it denuclearization, would be a tremendous thing. And it's something we are actually talking to Russia about that. And China would be added to that if we do something.
And while there's no indication the U.S. will immediately detonate warheads, the statement raised alarms worldwide. The Kremlin quickly warned that if America resumes testing, they'll do the same. And China urged Trump to honor its commitment under the global test ban. The U.S. hasn't conducted a nuclear test since 1992, but arms control experts say restarting tests would undo decades of nuclear restraint and could fuel a new arms race. And Paris police arrested 5 more people in connection to the Louvre jewel heist late Wednesday, as they continue to search for the $102 million of missing artifacts. According to reporters, the recent wave of arrests comes after prosecutors charged 2 men Wednesday who were believed to be in the pair that forced their way into the Apollo Gallery on October 19th. Now, authorities say 3 of the 4 suspected gang members who carried out the robbery are in custody after DNA evidence linked one of the men to the break-in. Investigators say the heist took just 4 minutes. The thieves used a stolen lift truck to climb to an upstairs window and cut open display cases before riding away on scooters. So far, only 1 relic has resurfaced, Empress Eugenie's damaged crown that was dropped when the robbers fled the scene. Prosecutors say about 100 investigators are working on the case full-time, but the jewels, including a diamond and emerald necklace that once belonged to Napoleon's wife, remain missing. French police acknowledged that the heist exposed lapses in the Louvre's security system. The museum's camera authorization actually expired in July, and much of the video network still runs on outdated analog systems. Meanwhile, French lawmakers are demanding answers and a complete overhaul of the museum's security as they scramble to find the missing gems. And Dodger Stadium wasn't roaring Wednesday night during Game 5 of the World Series. According to LA Times' Jack Harris, it was pleading. Down 4 runs in the 7th, LA fans were desperate for a spark. When Teoscar Hernandez hit an infield single, it seemed like the Dodgers would be able to chip away at Toronto's 4-run lead. But 7 pitches and a double play later, victory fell out of sight. The Blue Jays took Game 5 6-1, handing Los Angeles their 2nd straight loss at home. Toronto's Wednesday win was led by a stunning performance from rookie pitcher Trey Savage. The 22-year-old had 12 strikeouts over 7 innings, holding the Dodgers to just 3 hits. 2 were weak infield singles, and both were erased by inning-ending outs. As for the Dodgers, Blake Snell set the tone in the worst possible way, giving up back-to-back home runs on his first 3 pitches. After that, the Dodgers simply never recovered. Their offense, flat again, went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring positions, and just 10 for 61 over the last 2 games. After the game, first baseman Freddie Freeman told reporters that he hopes the break before Game 6 will reignite the offense.
I mean, when you go into this game, you attack a lane, and our lane today was up against Savage, and it just a complete 180 from Game 1. His command was pinpoint tonight. We were fighting that lane, and he was still getting the slider and the splitter down below the zone for strikes, and that was the difference from Game 1. He had a lot of non-competitive misses in Game 1, and today he didn't have that. And credit to him, that was a really good game pitched by him and Sir Anthony and Jeff. And baseball is a hard game, and it's been hard for us the last 2 days. But like we said, we've been in this situation before, like we were last year, and we can do it again.
Manager Dave Roberts said the offense over the last 2 games has been in a, quote, funk, while Kike Hernandez said it's just bad timing. In fact, it's the worst kind coming in the World Series. The Dodgers looked outmatched and out of answers. Now, facing elimination, they'll have to find their identity, and fast. Game 6 is Friday night in Toronto, where the Dodgers' season will be on the line. You can catch all the action on Fox or head over to the LA Times for live updates. And in more sports news, the Lakers are officially under new ownership. According to Tickney Nguyen, the NBA Board of Governors unanimously approved Mark Walters' bid to buy a majority stake in the franchise on Thursday, ending decades of family control for one of the most iconic brands in sports. The Buss family had previously run the Lakers since Dr. Jerry Buss bought the team in 1979. he transformed it into a global powerhouse worth an estimated $10 billion. His daughter, Jeannie Buss, led the team following his death in 2013 and will stay on as governor for at least the next 5 years. Walter, who also owns the Dodgers and the Sparks, called it a, quote, privilege to continue the Lakers' legacy of excellence. Meanwhile, Buss praised him as a trusted friend and someone who is a, quote, committed champion for Los Angeles. The move marks a major shift for LA basketball, but both Buss and Walter say the mission remains the same. Keep the Lakers winning and keep Los Angeles on top. That's it for now. To read these stories and more, be sure to head over to the LA Times.